What's the motherfucking deal, man? Welcome to South Sports. If you're not familiar with South Sports is a Houston, Texas homer network. Meaning we talking all sports, but only Houston. With that being said, hey, man, we're going to bring you some great roundtable content. Who we got joining us today, man?
We got your boy Third Coast Sports TV. Winkins in the building once again. Y'all can check me out at Third Coast underscore 5100 on IG, and y'all can get at me at Third Coast Sports on Twitter.
You got your boy Wise in the midst. You can catch me on Twitter at Wise Citizens. You can catch me on YouTube at Wise Citizens. I am dropping a video soon with the record prediction, and then I'm gonna go over this GM hire and this whole situation, and just an overview of the Houston Texans offseason. So I'm dropping that soon. That's it.
Already, and we got the inside source to plug, the man himself. Who we got? It's been a long time, man. Who we got joining us today, man?
It has been a long time. Well, you got your boy Hector Flores. You can follow me on YouTube at Hector Flores. You can follow me on Instagram at HFlow15 and on Twitter at Nino Flores 15.
That's a BET, man. It's good to see all you gentlemen today. So today I want to focus on, a particular situation. We kind of discussed it, and some things changed since the last time we had a group of around, even though we had some other members with us. It's always good to get some differentiating opinions. And it was the Nick Caserio situation, a.k.a. shout out to Ray J&J Sportscast, Nicky Scissors. Now, right? I don't know why I think of Clamps from fucking Futurama every time I hear that shit. But Nicky Scissors, man, you know, the Patriots said, hey, Nicky, you know, you got a deal. You can't get out of the deal, man. We worked something out with you. Fuck them Texans. Nicky, you know, hey, you're a Patriot, brother. You know. But now, Nicky Scissors had a clause in his contract where he couldn't really finesse the situation with the Texans. And so more than likely he'll be out of it next year. But then there's rumors floating around that Nicky still wants out. He wants that GM position. Of course, everybody wants a raise because what he has, the clause in his contract, he's not, I think he's player personnel. I'm not sure exactly what it is. You know, they got so many different fucking titles. But he wants that GM job. He wants that GM position. The Texans want him. Even though they say they're out of the race, they're not going to hire a GM. But here's the question that I'm posing. I'll start off with Wink. What is the likelihood that Nick Caserio is going to be the Texans GM, whether it's sometime in this point of this season, or do you think it's going to be at the end of next season? And do you think it's a wise move if the Texans go a whole season without a GM to wait till next season? What are your thoughts on that?
I see this as a situation for the Houston Texans. They can look at this one of two ways. The only way you can even fathom bringing Nick Caserio here, when it looks that the man wants to be here because he wants out of New England, because we all know that Bill Belichick has the final decision when it comes to the New England Patriots. And why wouldn't he have that power after bringing the champion, after taking his team to 8 championships and win 6? You know, so they can look at the situation like, okay, we want this guy because this is who Bill wants, or they can disregard that whole notion once Bill O'Brien flops this season. I really feel he can be fired during the season, but he will definitely be out on the last game of the season if we don't make it to the playoffs, if they just decide they don't have any other options to explore once it's time to get another head coach into this football team, excuse me. But it seems that Nick Caserio, I mean, he knows he doesn't have the power. That's exactly why he wants out. Yeah, he has the GM title, but what does that really mean when it comes to the New England Patriots? With the Houston Texans, he would be allotted the power needed to build the football team the way he sees fit. Now, will him and Bill O'Brien really get along? It's hard to say. We know what that aligned talk and, you know, being part of the New England person. You name me one person outside of Romeo Crennel who was associated with the Patriots who is on this team right now. Player, assistant, coach, does not matter. None of those guys are here. And you know the main reason why is because those guys outside of him had heart. Outside of those, they questioned the logic when it comes to the way that this team is ran. And when they go to other places, you're going to see players and or football teams flourish, and Bill O'Brien is going to remain stagnant because that's just who he is as an individual coaching in the NFL as it stands right now. But there won't be any need for Nick Caserio if Bill O'Brien is out of here beforehand. Now, if the Houston Texans just want to kind of still have that stigma about being the New England Texans, hey, that's on Cal. We'll know that, hey, he had a little bit more say so in this and aided Bill O'Brien more than we think he did. I don't want to just put full blame on Bill O'Brien, but the changing of the guard is going to reveal so much that they won't even have to come out publicly and say what the problems were, because people who've been paying attention knew who's been the one constant throughout this entire process and has been a loser since he's been in this organization, and that's Bill O'Brien.
Okay. Now, interesting. Wise, I want to know your thoughts. Kind of same question, as far as, is Nick Caserio going to be a GM for the Texans? He wants out of New England. Will he be a GM this season somehow, some way? Will they pull up the okie doke? Will it be next season? And we brought up a good point. Even if Bill O'Brien is out, will they still pursue Nick Caserio, especially with the bringing in of Jack Easterby? He's a guy from the Patriots organization. So are the Texans committed to this Patriot way? What are your thoughts on that one, Wise?
I would say, yeah. I would say they're committed to Nicky Scissors. I remember last week I said that I would give up only a 6th-round pick or a 7th-round pick for Nicky Scissors. But then we had the tampering going on. But then we had the clause in his contract. I don't understand how a man don't know his own contract. The man signed his life away and didn't even read the fucking contract. So that don't make no sense to me. But talking about this football situation, if I'm the Texans and I know I want this guy, and we're going in the season with Bill O'Brien, we've seen what Bill O'Brien can do for the last 5 years, going on 6 years. I'm tired of Bill O'Brien going 9-7. I'm tired of Bill O'Brien going 8-8, 10-6, 11-5. It doesn't fucking matter. 4-12. It's the same shit every single year. We're gonna run the ball on first down. We're gonna run the ball on second down. We're gonna pass the ball. We're gonna get into short field position, and guess what we're gonna do? Fumble the ball. We're gonna throw an interception, or Bill O'Brien gonna make a game-changing mistake. This guy is worse at time management. So I don't understand how a person that is bad at time management and a guy that has too much on his plate already can handle a general manager job. It just doesn't make any sense to me. And I'm telling you right now, if Bill O'Brien goes in as GM this season, you can call it a wrap. I know I predicted around a 7-9 season, but I'll say like maybe 5-11, because I already know what Bill O'Brien is going to do. He's going to play the guys that he likes. He's going to get some bum-ass niggas. Like, everybody has to realize this guy did sign off on all the draft picks from this draft. He signed off on Titus Howard with our 1st-round pick. And we all know this guy, Bill O'Brien, goes off of hype. He work out guys at the pro days, the senior bowls, and this and that. He gets all excited with all this potential. And guess what? He can never fulfill the potential of all of these players. So I don't think he has the mental skill to manage a team in general. But if I'm the Texans and I'm Cal McNair and I know I want a guy that's shown what he could do with the Patriots, bringing in hell of talent, being aggressive, because a lot of people like to say the Patriots weren't aggressive. The Patriots have been aggressive the last couple of years, going to get guys like Brandon Cooks, going to get guys like Stephon Gilmore. They got a lot of guys. They get guys, sign them, let them go, get another guy. But if you need a GM, you need somebody that can come in here and make some moves and try to take advantage of your quarterback's cheap contract right now, you go ahead and call New England and be like, all right, let's cut the bullshit. We're going to give you a 4th-round pick. We're going to give you a 3rd-round pick. And we're going to call it a deal. We get the general manager. They get a 4th-round pick, a compensatory pick. I think I'll settle that even.
Okay. So very interesting thing, too. Now, I'm going to add on a little bit to your question, Hector, because Wise also made a very good point. So first off is, will the Texans still pursue Nick Caserio? They're saying that they're calling it off. If the opportunity comes out, saying now that he's saying he wants out of New England, do you think that he will be a GM either this season, or will the Texans hold that position till next season? And if the Texans go into this season without a GM, you essentially have Bill O'Brien being your general manager, your head coach, and your offensive coordinator. We all know that he struggled with just the head coaching position. It seemed like Wise mentioned time management and challenges and other things that he's had struggles with. Do you think that'll be too much on his plate if the Texans do not pick up a general manager, for this season?
I feel like at this point we should just say fuck it with this season. And I think that this is going to be Bill O'Brien's last season. So I wouldn't want to bring in a GM right now just for the sole reason of we're going to let this coach go. So I'd rather just wait till next season, bring in a coach and a GM together that, will work perfectly together. That's the thing that works perfect for me. As far as the whole New England connection, look, every other organization does this. They go to winning organizations and go pick up guys from their staff because they're like, hey, they know how to win. It may not always work out because, honestly, ironically, a lot of these guys that do come from New England don't really pan out. I mean, look at Matt Patricia right now with the Detroit Lions, though that's a project of its own. But at the same time, everyone's kind of hoping that guys like these are going to go ahead and work out in the NFL, and they just don't. I think that you need to go and find another group, maybe another successful team. Maybe look at Seattle, even though Seattle hasn't really been the same as of lately, but I do like their culture a little bit more. But I think as far as that goes, I would be okay with the Texans just go ahead and wait it out. Hopefully, Bill O'Brien doesn't do enough terrible decisions that ends up costing the Texans. Because, I mean, there is another organization that had this similar situation, and that was the Philadelphia Eagles when they gave Chip Kelly the whole farm, and he got rid of the whole farm. And, obviously they won a Super Bowl. Not saying that that's going to happen for us, but mind you, they had to rebuild and fix all that up. And they went for one of the least sexiest names in Peterson, and it worked out for them because they got a Super Bowl off of it. But he was very aggressive. So I think the big thing is going to be maybe just wait it out this year. Go ahead and just take the L for this year, and then get ready for next year where you're going to clean house and bring in a coach and GM that will work together. And I think from what I see with Cal McNair, the fact that he actually did fire Brian Gaine before the season started just shows that this guy clearly wants to get the right result done. And if you're not in it, then he's going to get you the fuck out. And I think Bill O'Brien has a lot of pressure. And now you're giving him the GM position along with a head coach and offensive coordinator role. I don't think he's going to be able to handle all these things together. I mean, clearly he can't even handle 2 jobs right now. So to give him a third, you're asking him to have a heart attack at this point. Not hoping that he does. Not hoping that happens, but you're going to overwhelm him. He's not going to have the good season. And I think with the Texans situation is if you don't make it past the wild card round, heck, even the divisional round, if you don't make it past that point, you're done. And that's it. And Nick Caserio, who apparently has a cousin named Vinny, because I guess Caserio sounds Italian. If the Texans really believe in this guy without Bill O'Brien, then, I mean, if that's their guy, then I guess, by all means.
I'm not going to agree with that, man. Just kind of my thoughts on it briefly. I agree, man. I think it's going to be a wrap for Bill at the end of this season. I think the Texans are still going to be in pursuit of Caserio, regardless of what happens. I also agree with what Hector said is that because Bill O'Brien came out and said, oh, well, Cal told me what he expects of me. And obviously that means that he's not satisfied with the job you're currently doing, because if he was satisfied with the job, he wouldn't have any extra input really on what you're doing. And to me, that says, like you said, if you're not getting out the wild card round, if you're not getting past, if you're not taking this team to heights that it has not seen before, you out of here. You've had 6 years, you've had plenty of time, you've had a lot of input on this roster. And obviously, as much as I'm not the biggest Rick Smith fan, it wasn't Rick. It must be you. You know what I'm saying? Because even though I know a lot of people like to point to 11-5, that was great. You go look at those teams that we played in that 9-game span. It wasn't a murderer's row of talent. And some of those games were struggles. And you can talk about injuries and all that. It wasn't that big of a deal because this team was still much more talented than a lot of those teams. That came down to coaching. So really, with that being said, man, we're going to go ahead and wrap this one up. But you guys got anything you want to say before we get up out of here? Wink, what's on your mind, man? You want to shout out to the people before we slide out?
Nothing much. We just want to go ahead. We want to make sure that this team makes the right decisions. And once they do that, then hey.
Man, Wise Man, what's up? I think we froze up a second, so we'll come back if you bounce back in. What's on your mind, Wise Man? Anything you want to say before we slide out of here?
Shit, shout out to everybody in the city. Shout out to everybody in the world. Whoever watching the sauce, make sure y'all like the video. Make sure y'all share the video on y'all social media. Shout out to Honcho. Shout out to the whole Roundtable. Shout out to Professor Trill. His Lakers finally doing some type of shit. I know he gonna talk shit back in the comments, but shit, drop a comment. Appreciate the love. Be out.
Already. Man, Hector, you got anything you want to say before we slide up out of here?
It's great to be back. I feel like it's been an eternity since last time I made an appearance. But obviously, I've been working on my grind with school and work, and trying to be a collage graduate. Said that badly on purpose. But before I gotta say one thing about Titus Howard. I know I didn't actually get to say my opinion. No, I think it was a terrible pick, not because of the player, but because of the location of where they picked him. But I have to say, man, y'all talked a lot of shit about the swag. like, like, like I know that Alabama State is a terrible school, which I was like, out of all the swag schools that you pick, you go to Alabama State. Like, you couldn't pick Grambling or the ones that actually win the swag, but or even Southern. Southern had a good year this year, but you go with Alabama State, who I think their record was just as bad as TSU. But anyways, aside from that, though, I am going to be somewhat supportive to Titus Howard, only because he's part of that SWAC family and that HBCU community. But yeah, I was like, damn, man, these people were talking a lot of shit about my conference.
It ain't hating on no HBCUs, man. It's just
man, we had to get them. We had to get it, man.
Man, where they got them, and I think it was just again with the talent that was available and just what happened to it. But I shout out to Hector, man, because Hector has been representing the SWAC, holding down HBCUs for a long time. Because even during the process early in the year, he mentioned a lot of guys that were possible NFL talents that he had brought to the forefront. So shout out to Hector for that one, man.
Yeah, and but aside from that, make sure you guys follow everybody on here with their social medias and their YouTube channels. Hopefully, they're gonna start pushing out some content. I'm always gonna be pushing as much content as I can. So, shit, I do a lot of content.
That's how you know you ain't done shit when Hector could call you on your shit and say, bro, put out some motherfucking videos. I know I've been slacking, man. I've been working, man. Should be hard. Got these kids. Got a lot going on at home, man. Just haven't really been able to do my own thing, But since a certain somebody, wants to imply and give motivation, we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna give them that.
Absolutely. And come on, Hector, you got to drop your famous line, man. You know the line. I'm waiting for it, man.
Well, they are playing tonight, so go ahead and watch the Dynamo. Watch them on ESPN Plus. They will be taking on Minnesota United for the U.S. Open Cup. The battle for the repeat is on.
Shout out to Hector, man. Already, man, fellas, I appreciate y'all coming through. Hey, man, y'all stay tuned. We'll have a lot more of the roundtable content coming. I know a lot of y'all been asking for more, but I know a lot of y'all been shooting some love. That y'all enjoying the way this format goes, and I like it personally myself. So, man, y'all stay tuned. Got a lot more coming. Hey, all the links to these gentlemen channels will be at the top of the description below, so you ain't got no excuse to go and hit that sub button, go and hit that like button. Support these gentlemen, support the sauce, man. Hey, follow on all the proper social medias because these gentlemen put out a lot of content. Hey, but with that being said, Sauce Nation, y'all the freshest motherfucking ingredients in the world. I appreciate y'all. Most of all, y'all be cool like y'all be cool. Y'all stay saucy. Hey, we out.